Um, so today we are talking about the brown checked jacket.
Yeah,
You
brown.
guys
Yeah,
can
yeah.
listen
You're
to
not
that
wrong,
that
and that
um
means you're right.
that article, essay, and podcast came out. Um, yeah, I mean, it came out this past week. Been sharing a lot of stuff on the Instagram, as you saw, and it's a very big deal. I'm not gonna talk too much about it because you guys can hear what me and Spencer exactly think about it in length. But in short, it is one of our favorite things to wear. We think it's probably even more superior to the navy blue jacket, especially maybe when you're later on in your journey. It's casual. It doesn't always have to be tweed, is something that a lot of people think. Obviously I have a wool silk linen. I have it in I've seen like seersuckers with it, dyed stuff. Obviously it's a bit specialized. It's also rare. If you guys haven't seen, obviously it's hard to see it in like a J. Crew or a Suit Supply. Um, and yeah, it's one of our favorite things to wear. It looks inherently vintage and inherently interesting. Um, But yeah, that's basically what it is. And we're here to talk to Jason, Kiyoshi, Matt, and MJ about what their
Yeah.
thoughts on the brown check jacket. So Jason, why don't you talk to us? Because I know I don't think I've seen you in very many brown checks. I know you prefer wearing like
Like
dual tone
today.
stuff, but yeah,
Mhm.
But take it away. What do you think about the?
I actually really like it. I bought had that brown flannel check, the Prince of Wales and the flannel made,
Yeah,
and I've been loving that. I was always actually pretty not a big brown fan
I
for
can't
hmm
some
join you,
reason.
MJ.
Just for some reason, I was like, and it was mainly just because when we talk about like black as well, we like it with texture and something going on with it. I don't like like a regular wool like shiny black suit.
Right.
But I do really like a black corduroy.
Mm-hmm.
So same thing was like with the brown. I just never. And then once I found something I liked and could figure out how to do it. Yeah. So I wore it today with my Kamakura shirts. And it's really nice. I wore it with jeans. It goes with everything. It's like
it
it
does
really
go
is
with everything.
fantastic. And it's not a navy blazer, which you guys know. I don't like wearing basic shit.
Right.
Yeah,
You're not a
yeah, the
basic
whole thing.
I
bitch,
ain't no
which
basic
I think is a
bitch.
pod quote.
Well,
So
because
this, so the brown check's really good at um, not being that.
Well, because it's also so many variations of it. Like you're gonna see a worsted navy blazer with brass buttons, or single breasted or double breasted. But like there are so many different types of brown check, and it says so much about it
Yeah,
and the cuts. So lots of possibilities there.
oh, definitely. I mean, to go back to the not just possibilities, but when you look at what's it called, defaulting, right? Whenever I think of like a navy jacket, like people say, yeah, you can wear a navy jacket with jeans. It's true, but it
it doesn't
look,
actually
we
go
we
very
talk about
well.
like Sid Mashburn, right? I think Kiyoshi and I talk about stuff like, oh, you don't want to look too hashtag menswear, and I know a brown check jacket and jeans is still a little bit hard, because that also is very hashtag menswear as well. Um, but there's just something about it where it opens up the possibilities more of subverting it, right? Like a navy jacket, if you do it with jeans, what do you have? Oxford shirt, kind of too preppy, kind of too Sid Mashburn. Wear with a chambray shirt, still kind of Sid Mashburn. Wear with a white shirt, still kind of Sid Mashburn. It's all. But brown check jacket, the combinations thereof, turtleneck, Oxford shirt, chambray, Gab shirt, whatever. There's so many more
Yeah,
stuff with it where it doesn't feel too much like you're doing any one look. Um, and yeah, so that's kind of why um I also kind of enjoy it as well. Um, is there anything else you wanted to add to that, Jason? Before, because I know he's got some dissenting opinions that we're gonna get in on as soon
yeah.
as
No, I
we get
mean,
done.
I just think I think the brown check has actually been a really good addition, and I'll probably have to get one. I'll have one, figure out how to do one in like a lighter fabric as well. Because this is flannel. I mean, it's not a heavy flannel by any means, but it's still flannel at the end of the day. Oh shit!
And they can't take that away from you.
And I just got shot in the face as I said that. So, oh,
Hard
this
to
is
read it.
shit. This is core, right? Not
Yeah,
hardcore.
it's core.
Okay.
Um,
Quarantine.
Well, I mean, that's again, that's what's really been important because about getting something in a lighter fabric.
Yeah.
Obviously, my whole thing with the brown check jacket is because like you see movie stars 30s 40s where you see a lot of illustrations. You guys can read the article, look at the Instagram. There's lots of very great inspiration behind it, and so I always wanted it. But obviously, collecting vintage, it's going to be like wool, even certain like light wools or whatever are still too hot to wear. And I felt really bad that during the summertime I had to default to wearing like light colors. It just didn't feel like I was being me because I'm not like a very pretty kind of peacock kind of guy. I'm not a very monochromatic wearing all white, all tan kind of guy either, right? Um, and it's been a hard journey because, as we'll discuss later, not every
Good journey.
not every brown check
You
is
can do it.
good.
Yeah, not all brown
Uh,
checks are equal.
Oh,
Yeah,
They
for
are
sure.
not.
Some are more equal than others.
yeah, it's because I mean it's like one of those things like especially
Three checks good.
for summer, um, you can't really a lot of people like wear really vibrant checks, and I really hate that that's a thing,
For
like,
summer.
yeah, for summer, right? Even like suit supply, like I don't want to wear like a white and brown, like a white and tan window pane. Like
You
that's
want the same
hate
check that
window
you would wear fall winter, but in summer cloth.
absolutely. That's exactly.
Before I
what it
listened
is.
to the podcast, I fancied the idea of a gun check being a cool summer weight fabric, but then you guys were like, no, not at all. Only winter.
Roasted.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
should die.
I mean,
You
it's
die for that.
Kill yourself if you wear this
Die
fast.
faster.
I think
We're
it's
all
because
dying
gun
slowly.
check is almost all, or gun check or like shepherd check is almost always done in like winter, right? Like in like a tweed. And like Kiyoshi said, I think, and we'll get to him in a second, where like certain stuff just looks better
We'll
in
get
certain
to you in a second here.
You sit
certain
tight.
in certain fabrics, right? Like certain
Yeah.
like I think that like a brown check, you can't do it in like straight cotton, right? Like you can't like
Right.
a flat finish, like a like a quill.
And
Like,
FF.
but what you can do, right, is like if you have like a brushed cotton, which might not, brushed cottons typically are heavier than regular cotton twills or whatever, but it tends to look better. Like brown
Big
checks
bone.
need texture, but I also don't think it needs to be in the same like weight as some other stuff. Because again, like
Yeah,
my
I think
wolf
brown just in general needs texture.
yeah, it
Yeah,
definitely.
flat brown.
I think everything
flat
needs
brown
texture.
tend to look-
TBA.
I mean, I would agree there. I don't like.
There's a
most
guy camping
flat
up at the
things.
top of this thing.
Mm-hmm. Keep going.
Wouldn't it be
Sean.
great if we were at war and doing a podcast or a stream and just like
I
you
I
have
think
to, like,
that
snipe-
I think that in a couple of years that's what it's going to be.
That's Spencer's controversial political opinion. of the
Spencer's
evening.
prediction.
What
I'm
what
like the- call me
generation do you
the-
think
I'm
is
like
going to
the
get
great Chris
drafted,
Paul.
right?
So every night
Got
at
him.
8:43, we'll get Spencer to reveal his controversial opinion about it, and then
I wanna
You
have-
guys are playing like shit.
I
that
just
time.
want to have like the TV show like from Network where they just let me like yell about stuff, or I guess the
pretty
more
good.
recent reference is the TV show from that Black Mirror episode, which is like the same thing.
I
where
love
he
Wendy
just gets-
Williams.
He gets to go on TV
Um,
and complain about the government, so less people complain about the government.
That's a
what
pretty good
I-
gig if you could get it.
Hey,
Um,
state, let me be your propaganda arm. Just kidding.
We're glad you're kidding.
So Kiyoshi, why don't you launch in now to what your thoughts
Launch
are on
in.
the brown check jacket?
Oh wow.
Good at
Hot
core.
takes incoming. No, so
Can't wait.
I'll say
Alright.
this. I as a concept, I like the brown jacket with checks, and
Here we go.
I do think that as everyone's been saying, it's an extremely versatile piece that lends itself to a lot of looks and working with a lot of parts of your wardrobe, maybe more so than a navy blazer does for sure. And it's also something I do recommend to my clients pretty often. Not all of them take me up on it, but whatever.
Salty.
Hey, I'm just an idea person. I can't convince someone to buy something they don't want.
We're all creators,
me.
man.
But my thing, and this is I think extremely unique to me, is that I don't really want a brown check jacket, and the reason is that living in an urban area, I just
Oh,
don't
right.
think it really plays well with the type of places I
Really?
go to mostly. Yeah.
Okay.
I would
Interesting.
much rather wear more monochromatic colors. And brown really just doesn't lean into that as well.
Like if
And
that was the
I'm
star of
specific.
the outfit.
Yeah, like to me, it's like if I was wearing tailoring for all of my fits all the time, casual and more formal, then yeah, I would probably include some more sport coats into the wardrobe, and I'm sure some of them would be brown. But um, usually, if I'm wearing tailoring, it's because I'm dressing up for something besides
Mhm.
work. And if I'm going somewhere like a nice restaurant or to an event, usually it's in the evening and it's a little more formal. So there's certain, in my mind, colors that go with that kind of environment, and brown isn't one of them. And when I'm not dressed up, I just don't wear tailoring. So, and I don't even wear the sport coats I have now that sit in my closet. I wear them like maybe once or twice a year. So I don't really have a place for a brown check jacket in my wardrobe. And if I were to add more tailoring, it just doesn't. It just doesn't have a home, and I know it would never be worn. It's not that I don't like brown plaids. In fact, I think if you're on the Discord, you saw that I was kind of leafing through some of them, found some good ones.
Right? Yeah.
And it's always fun to think about, but it's just not something that I know I need for my wardrobe. So
It's not
that
something like
is
they
my
prioritize.
small dissent. Yeah, I don't agree with the majority opinion, or totally disagree with the majority opinion, but I have a small dissent with a very narrow interpretation of the jacket.
Well, yeah, I forgot that opinion, and so I was like wondering what it would be. But then I remember you said it was that it looked a little country in the city, and so my mind initially went to Drake's, and like, well, they kind of do that, but you're not always hanging around an atelier. You want to wear something that'll take you from the boardroom to the bar, and your monochromatic looks will do that.
See, that's something funny because I mean this just becomes down to fundamental difference of style, right?
100%.
Like you don't wear like classic tailoring all the time, right? That is not your thing. And
Yeah.
my thing is definitely like I love to fight that idea where I can be super or I don't think I'm very trad because I feel like I'm kind of contrarian with some of my other things that I do.
You are a
Um,
trad wife, though.
That's right.
That's not to be disputed. You're a trad
That's
wife.
right. But I definitely, I like the idea of wearing a brown check jacket across any situation. I mean, I don't always do it. Sometimes, obviously, like Kiyoshi and I talked privately a little bit. Well, maybe not private. I don't remember where it was, but it was like, like at art galleries, I do like wearing like all black kind of stuff. I do think, I think that's kind of conducive to the art look. I have a lot of black. I have a lot of navy blues that I wear. I have a lot of dark browns that I wear with, kind of edgy, different kind of stuff. Definitely want to attract the art girl wearing Doc Martens, and sometimes you can't really do
The
that.
ethereal bisexual, as
As
Barack
Obama would,
say.
yeah,
Yeah.
as Obama would call it. I do have clear frames, but yeah. So it's not always conducive for that, but I do like that kind of vibe where if someone can tell that I'm trying to, like we always talk about, it's always kind of like a vibe check, like if you know kind of thing, right? And
Read the room.
I like being able to be that guy wearing the brown check jacket with like the the OCBD or the spear point with like white socks and loafers, but the vibe is more of like that art student kind of thing instead of like the kind of trussed up Ivy style guy people assume it to be. I know Berkeley Breeds, great Instagram account. If you guys don't follow Berkeley Breeds, he's always kind of like that where people live and subvert expectations with trad and Ivy. So I think I fall into that a little bit. And a brown check jacket, from a purely sartorial level, is definitely more casual than like a navy jacket, as we've talked about. And so, yeah, I personally have no issue wearing it with the city. Although, even though I live in LA, it's definitely a different type of city, right?
Yes,
Like in
yes.
Chicago,
It's
obviously
very
if you're
different
taking like
architecture.
or like New York, you're literally all around more like crane and skyscraper and metal and stuff like that, like you talk about. But in LA, you could be there for like an hour and then literally go somewhere where it's suburb. You can go where it's fucking like desert. You know, there's a lot of different places you could be. And so the brown check jacket is removed from any of that context for me. I don't think I'm bringing country. It's more so I'm just wearing this cool jacket that I like, you know. And
You're just a jacket liker.
yeah, and I will say that I have
Sounds like a bully
definitely
insult.
attempted to, you know, edge it a little bit. But like,
You're a
Edge
fan.
lord.
there are times so
Premium.
I've worn like my brown check jacket, like my pepper check from Ring Jacket. I wear it with like when I first got my Willem hat, I literally wore the brown check jacket with a black sawtooth Westerner and like dark navy trousers, black tassel loafers, and black fedora.
God, I
Like,
gotta get
that-
every one of those J Muser Westerners.
Come on.
they're good.
Did
but,
Cody
you know-
Wellama ever play around with where there's a Wellama, there's a way?
There's a way, Emma.
For the Wellama.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Rocket
Let's
launcher.
email this to ourselves.
But
Well,
you
I'm
know,
gonna send a
I
letter
think
to
there
myself.
definitely are ways to make it more edgy.
Yeah.
I think you know I mean we've seen pictures of like rock and roll guys or you know Rolling Stones wearing like a check jacket with like flares and Chelsea boots, right? Like that's not without outside the realms of possibility. And I definitely, as a guy who is slowly getting into the 60s, 70s type of vibe, I still think that there's a way to incorporate the tradness into that. So
Tradness is a
There's-
pretty cool
yeah,
There's
descriptor.
comedy and there's tragedy.
yeah.
I'm Tradness.
Hi.
Matt,
Sadness
what do
Everdy.
you-
Thank you so much. What is that? I couldn't. It was in my brain. And what is that from?
Oh,
Oh, Hunger Games. Hunger
Hunger
Games. I was like,
Games.
where is this pull from? Oh, okay. Me. Hi, I'm Matt. No, I understand where Kiyoshi's coming from a little bit. I was just thinking like, okay, you're in a gray urban area, and then you see like this pop of like, I don't know. I pictured like a dark brown houndstooth against black. I don't know. I understand what you mean about like it's sticking out a little bit, like country vibes a little bit, but
I like the sticking out. But that's me.
you want to stick out sometimes.
See, there's a difference though between like wearing a pink sport coat sticking out and wearing a brown sport coat sticking out. To me, there's a
I
difference.
feel
I
attacked.
think the pink work. Well, that's why I said it.
Well, Jason. I mean,
To
you had your
attack you.
popped collar, and I pictured you. I pictured Jason walking in the streets. Like, I don't know what your walk is, but I just pictured you have to like lock and load straight forward. No one cares in New York. No one stops for anyone, right? No matter what they wear, right? No one gives a shit. Yeah. So that's fine. Yeah. No, so I don't know how it is was in Chicago if you feel that just like, you know, just kind of blending in a little bit better. But you're just not like sacrificing your own style integrity, right? You still feel you. You just feel like this is the best version of you, as opposed to trying to make something work that you don't really need.
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know. For me like, and I'm partial because I just got it, but things like I also like a gray herring, but I think texture is just as important as like color and pattern and all that stuff. So like really texture is like kind of first, like, you know, I mean obviously fit, but I really like, you know, so if it's a brown check that works for me. I really like we haven't talked about this too much now, but on the pod you go into certain types. I got confused which mine is. These names are sort of interchangeable. Like, what's a Prince of Wales check, or is a Brown Glen check the same thing, or Glen Plaid over check? Some version of that I happen to have in like a medium brown with like a red orangish over check. I like that the best. I think there's a lot of dimension. It looks great up close or far away, and the overall color you get from it. Yeah, so I really enjoy it. So yeah, I mean, I don't have any issue wearing it. It's just if I'm wearing tailoring, I'm trying to subvert it now, where it's not like I'm just wearing a suit and tie outside, unless I have to, unless it's for a
Yeah.
reason, you know.
Remember that song
Um,
"Suit and Tie" by Jay-Z and Justin Timberlake?
I'll never forget.
I love that.
Interesting,
song.
you list Jay-Z first.
Well, of course.
Of course.
By the way, there's a lot of songs that have the same chord progression.
Yeah, welcome to
Welcome to pop music.
And we like those.
We like those songs.
Everyone loves seventh chords, right?
Yep, add a diminished. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know what to say. I think if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and it's a great jacket. And maybe Kiyoshi, you could speak to this too, where it's like, when you live in the colder climates, like at a certain point, you can't just wear. If you do decide to wear a tailored jacket, that's fine and well, but you need that outer piece, even if it is a vest. Like I
You
just
need
got
that
a
third piece, as they say in retail.
That's
yes,
right.
that classic third piece, but
Yeah.
triple quadruple breasted suit. But no, I just got my Barber quilt.
So many
Yep,
breasts.
I just got my quilted vest from Barber that's sort of newer, and it's a totally different outfit wearing just like a brown check jacket and like a tie, but like plopping that on with a scarf, like an actual scarf, not like a jaunty scarf. That's like it obscures everything. It's like wearing a fucking face mask and sunglasses. It's like a completely different fit. So you can your outerwear really affects like
Headshot,
that.
bitch.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what you wear with it. But I don't know. I like Barber for me. Like that's sort of like you add any Barber really if it's the vest or the jacket, and you just it's just the brown check just becomes an interesting layer, you know. So it makes me question layers, but it's when it's warm enough
Like
to just wear it
onion.
on its own. Yeah, it's like Shrek. Shrek is Drek. Remember those? But no, I think when it's warm or cool enough, depending on your preference, to wear just the brown check by itself, as long as it's a good texture and not a bad fit. Oh yeah, my controversial opinion, I don't like straight up houndstooth. I need it in a check, and if it's just houndstooth all over, it's weird to me. I know you can kind of make it work. Drake's has done some stuff that's like, that's fine. And again, that's where texture comes in, but I think that's like similar to your summer weight fabric gun check thing, where it's like it just needs a slight adjustment in order to work for me. But yeah, so the end.
Well, I mean, there's a lot to kind of unpack there a little
No,
bit.
yeah, I just meant for my spiel, but let's unpack.
Yeah. No, I think, you know, it's one of those things where gun check and summer fabric, I have to see it, right? Like it's really hard. Like
Like porn.
I did think it was pretty tough. Like you know, for years I would say I want you know, a summer weight jacket with a brown check, you know, but I had never seen an example of it, right? Like I never. It was tough until Peter McKay did a brown check in linen, and like a good. It's like kind of like a. It's not. It's got like a reddish tint to it. It's not like, you know, it's not as dark brown as the as like the Fox Brothers plaid that I got from them, which I love. Flannel. I get to wear it. You know, probably wear it tomorrow. But the linen one was perfect. You know, it was great. It was somber. It still has a little bit like the characteristic kind of like the scratchy linen, like the when some of the yarns are not as dyed as some of the other ones. But it wasn't as like overtly like summer as we discussed in the Discord a little bit. And so, um, yeah, it's like it's one of those things where hopefully maybe, you know, maybe someday I'll see a gun check in a summer cloth, you know, probably like a wool silk linen. I think wool silk linen is probably the best summer or quote summer, you know, some for spring
Sure.
summer cloth that has texture. It's light enough, but there's a little bit of drape. You know, obviously it's not going to be as open as like a hop sack or something, and you know, but yeah, I'm curious to see what it would be like that. Again, I played this before. Crystal Springs is a book from Holland and Sherry that obviously not everyone has access to it. I think maybe, I'm not sure if Holland and Sherry has put all of their books on their website. I know some of them did. That's how I would sometimes check if things were available, because little disclaimer, Ascot Chang, we did get like fabric updates, but they were usually like every like month or so. So like there's a small chance that in between then like a fabric could be sold out, right? I would check the website sometimes to see if it would be there. But yeah, Crystal Springs has a lot of great checks in like a summer very lightweight open weave kind of fabric. Pretty expensive, the Holland Sherry. But it's my hope that Spear McKay brings back some of these checks. And so I was surprised, and I hopped on it when they got that linen one. And then of course they have like crazy like cream window panes, blue and white window panes. Like I can't wear it. Like that's not only is it not brown, but it's just like not a good type of check. You know what I mean? And then to go to like what like you know, what's a good check, what's a bad check, and like preferences with that. Houndstooth is something I like. I do think that straight houndstooth is hard to wear.
There's a guy.
It is definitely like regular houndstooth is hard to wear.
Yeah.
Because of how tight the
Sometimes I
how-
forget we're playing video games.
Yeah, it's how tight the pattern is, like how tight the house shape is together, because that affects obviously what tie you wear and what shirt you wear, and I'm
Right.
sure for Kiyoshi, um, there is that aspect of because it's a brown check, it has pattern in it, right? And so if you're trying to be minimal, it's inherently antithetical to it, right? And most people would just instead of worrying about whether or not it's the right scale of houndstooth, whether or not it's the right scale of Prince of Wales or whatever, it's better to go plain. But
Well,
that's why I think the brown check is great, because like once you find the right one, it's so good, right?
If you're doing a pattern sport coat of any kind, if it's like a herringbone, we're not even talking about brown checks, but if it's a brown check, like it needs to be a little bit bigger. I'm not, and same with suits. Like if you, well, okay, for a jacket, it needs to be a bigger pattern. Like if it's like a tiny plaid, who cares? You're just wearing a solid coat,
Yeah,
basically.
I'm not a big fan of like micro houndstooth. That's not
No.
like, the thing I'm into.
No.
Um,
So yeah, it's a fine line.
it is a fine line. So to talk about again what's bad.
I
I don't
shot
know.
that guy in the head like 3
maybe-
times.
What?
I'm just saying, I shot a guy in the head 3 times and he didn't die.
TJOS.
Kiyoshi,
Yeah, same.
maybe you could speak a little bit to this, but what, like, because you see now you see more fabrics than I do, because now I don't work in menswear anymore. I don't see the cloth books. But what do you think makes a good
Close.
brown check? We were talking about this in Discord, and I think we're in agreement of what a good brown check is. But maybe you can kind of disseminate
Yeah.
that for us.
So I think it's gonna be really hard to describe this to paint a word picture here, but I think you want to have
Paint
something.
away,
So yeah, just gonna use a little bit darker tones. But yeah,
Oh, you're our Bob Ross.
I think that you want darker rather than lighter in shade,
Amen.
which is really hard when you're trying to go for a summer one.
Right.
And also, I prefer more tonal plaids rather than high contrast plaids. So,
Absolutely.
instead of like a really light cream tan plaid over a dark chocolate base, something that's more like a medium brown with a dark brown or something along those lines. So where they're closer in tone rather than further apart. I think that helps a lot. Unfortunately, that's hard to find, and it might just be the mills that and what they're putting out right now that we at my work use. But I see a lot of high contrast like window panes. So like a dark chocolate brown, but with like a white, 1/8 of an inch thick window pane pattern on it, where it's just like, oh, that's really great, texture, really good fabric mix, really great base color, and then like a plaid, or in this case, a window pane is just like so high contrast that it's like it's a little too look at me, attention grabbing fabric. It is hard to find the more subdued plaids. We don't really have a ton of English fabric mills. We have some access to some Holland and Cherry, but I don't have all the books for them. So I wonder if there's something more from them in their vast sport coat selection or flannels, maybe. But what I tend to see a lot of is like when it comes to sport coat design, tends to be very bold, very eye-catching, very colorful, and not really the darker color. And then when it comes to spring summer, that's a total crapshoot. You might get one or two across like several mills in a season that has a good
Yeah, most of the
brown
time
color.
in like spring summer, it's a lot of weird like
Dusty,
Attention
muted.
way too over the top. That's coming from me.
Yeah.
Wow.
And also just
Take heed.
or it's just like the linen, they don't do like a really deep dye of the yarns, or it's too much like natural color yarns, so you get this kind of almost like gray undertone. It feels like our natural undertone that really just brings down the dark.
Yeah, and the shades are always
or
just
sorry, not brings it. Yeah, and it's like, oh, I can really only wear this with like cream trousers, kind of,
Yeah,
or like
and
dove
it's
gray
just
trousers,
not
because it's such a
something.
light color. Yeah.
Like
So
I see a lot of
spring-summer's
blue
hard
and
to
red
find.
window panes in the spring
Yeah.
summer. It's annoying.
We're putting these like brown checks on worsted jackets, or it's like not
yeah,
even trying to
smooth
incorporate-
finish stuff. Not a
Soup
fan.
it, burn it,
Yeah, stop
burn it,
it,
Peters.
guys.
Yeah, stop it.
But I mean, part of me also assumes though, like when it comes to these seasonal collections, that a lot of times they will do like color consulting and like go off color trends. So obviously you want to sell the fabric if you're going to make it. So I would assume there is, with the global reach of say like Laura Piana, they're not just looking at like, okay, what's popular amongst, some menswear enthusiasts in the United States, but they're also looking at what's popular, say like in Russia or China, or
Right, it's broader.
where the color palette is, we're like, what's up with that? But it might be like a trending color story.
Right, yeah,
for
I know
different
more
continent.
hashtag menswear. I think.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
so you see it like video
That's
and stuff
why
like that.
when we look at guys like Burzan Blog and Zane Lim, these guys who are, admittedly still great stylish guys, but maybe lean a little bit more on like the trendier side of it. Maybe not as trad. Again, I've been accused of that. I never really thought of myself like that, but I guess in comparison, right? To those guys, I definitely think, yeah, it's that the reason why those guys, when they wear those window panes, those high contrast ones, non-tonal plaids, that's probably why we don't see it, because that's what actually sells, right? We don't see a lot of guys who want the classic somber, like the very Bruce Boyer combination. Like, in our Discord, someone shared a picture of like Bruce Boyer wearing like university stripe. I think it was like a horizontal stripe knit tie, but he did like a brown plaid with gray trousers, white socks, and like suede tassels or suede shoes. And I'm like, I would wear that. And then I know me saying that means I would dress like an 80-year-old man, or like however old Bruce Boyer is. And that
Yeah.
is not something guys our age, whether Kiyoshi's age or the rest of us, that's not something that they want to be like, right?
Oh,
Even
100%. Yeah, like
yeah,
I have not sold something that I think looks like something Bruce Boyd would wear more than 5 times in 5 years.
yeah.
Like to be pretty frank, like I think I've sold like one flannel suit for a guy's wedding, maybe 2, a
Yeah.
couple tweed jackets, and then like
I haven't sold anything that I actually like since I started working at the store.
Wow.
so
Jesus.
the stuff that I think a lot of the people that listen to this, stream and podcast are into, and that I think a lot of us are into, it's not something that, at least with my clientele, is popular.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
that's
also
what-
haven't bought like
Absolutely.
When yeah.
as even buying for the store. I haven't bought anything that I've actually
Huh.
liked for the store, because I'm like, our customer just doesn't want it.
Yeah, when
Our
I
customer
worked
doesn't
at,
want high-waisted
they don't-
pants for some
they don't
reason.
want it. Why
No,
wouldn't they
want,
want
like,
that?
They want a low rise because it's what they're told to like,
Yeah,
and they're all
I
like,
Yeah.
ridiculously
sheep.
fat.
I had a client that at the Brooks Brothers that was like, I tried to sell down. We had like a doeskin navy blazer with brass buttons, and I was just like, hey, get this. It'll take away the like corporate like shiny suit thing, and then but this was big guy going for office job, and he was like, I want that look. I want big shiny suit man, and he's with his wife, and I was just like, what are you? Okay,
No way.
well
Hey,
then
big shiny suit man.
then
I mean,
take
I
this
think
shiny
that's
blue suit.
why, we talk about how I create outfits. Sometimes I think about like, I, I gotta sell people on this look, right? If I'm gonna talk so much shit about the brown check jacket, why it's great, I better wear it all the time, and I do, and I like the variety in which I wear it, because I think it hopefully someone is gonna find it useful, right? Like someone's gonna look at it and be like, hey, that is actually that's what's good, that's something I can actually do. And I think I get that kind of feedback on Reddit quite a bit, which is great. Like I sometimes post podcast episodes in there. They obviously don't do great on Reddit because, in bigger terms, I'm not like a very popular guy. Maybe I'm like, what are you wearing today? but there are times when people are like, yeah, oh, I never thought you could wear that with like, you know, jeans and Chelsea boots. I thought that you could only wear it, like you can only do it like English style, and I'm like, no, of course not. Like you think about it as
Like
like
family style, you can have like family style meals.
With beans.
Like Buca de Beppo.
yeah,
Buca Dolores.
But
Puka shells.
that's that's one reason why I kind of do what I do. And
You do what
I
you
don't know,
do.
like MJ, I know you're busy playing just like the rest of us. But like, what do you think about Brown Check Jackets? Again, you have the ability to, or you have the benefit of wearing my old stuff, and I think there's like at least like there's like one gun check, right? Like the
Yeah.
How full of yourself do you have to
Day.
be to say it's a
And,
benefit to have my secondhand things? Just kidding.
Well,
Hey,
you
it's
should
like-
listen to the bonus. You should listen to the bonus episode.
Hey,
MJ
when
is
I-
now debuted as version number 1, I think. Yeah.
1.1.
when I was
That's
ending
funny.
things today, I was able to talk about things that she didn't like about me. So that's hey, keep it going. I'm a dick, right? But no, what do you think about the Brown Check? I mean, again, like you have a different context than the rest of us. You don't have as much of like a menswear background, or you kind of work retail recently. What's your thoughts on the Brown Check?
It's very good, very nice.
I mean, that's what I felt too.
Makes-
Like, what do you say? What do you
makes-
say about the Brown Check Jacket?
Makes me happy, makes me smile.
Yeah.
good.
But
You have
yeah.
one, don't you? Like a red one? It's not red, but like there are red tones in it or something.
Yeah,
There's like a burgundy. Yeah, it's a brown and burgundy.
Yeah,
It's like
right.
gun
Right.
check
Blondie.
or what's it called? Like because like it's like a gingham almost, I think, right?
Mhm.
Shoot.
Shepherd's check.
Shepherd
But it's
check.
very dark, right?
Yeah.
At least that's my memory of it.
Yeah.
But like
Cool.
being able to wear it, I don't know how you describe it, more normie friendly
Sure.
for like the mall, right? But also
Yeah.
like function wise, because like if I have to like move boxes or like be in the back room like the whole day, I don't need to like go super hard with it, I can be a little bit more comfy
Can be a
with
little
it.
bit single.
Yeah, exactly.
You need that ticky pocket for your business cards
That's
that
true.
no one wants.
We don't got those, but yes.
No, trust me,
Always
no one
need
wants
that
my
ticky
business
pocket.
card. I don't know, but you got the pocket for
Just
it.
sing it
You
to
need
them. Just sing your business card to them.
I
Not
tried.
a-
Yeah,
I've
give
been known to carry two.
give them like a singogram or whatever.
A
Songogram.
singogram?
Yeah. What do they call the like musical telegrams?
A sing, yeah, like a
I think it's
telegram.
called a musical telegram. I think you nailed it right there.
We do have
we got
the
all versions.
we do have access to like the PA system of the store, so maybe I'll just plug it in one day and
Yes.
Throw the
Yeah,
pot up.
through the phone. It would sound great. Yeah. Well, we got
Um,
that plan.
Hey,
Well,
really
how-
quick, not to detract from the menswear, but I think we should
Too late.
do a wellness check on Aldris, not to speculate on why he's not on the stream, but from the Daily Mail US, huge sinkhole with glowing green liquid ooze found in Toronto.
Oh.
So I'm worried about our boy in Toronto.
Our
Things are-
Toronto boys.
There's gonna be a super villain.
It's gonna be.
Popping
What's the
up.
guy
Well,
with the
That's
Power
good.
Rangers? Ooze, Ivan Ooze.
I have an ooze.
Ivan Ooze is coming to Canada.
Yeah.
He's coming to Toronto World Tour.
Wow, that is like ecto cooler green. I'm looking at photos
It's not
now.
a good looking. It's not a healthy looking green.
It's not
Healthy green.
It's like the generic like cartoon. Ooh, green
It looks-
radioactive
yeah.
liquid.
Oh, I'm
It
sick.
looks like the dip from Roger Rabbit. Like,
Is it?
See, there was an explosion at the Nickelodeon slime factory.
Yeah, I was gonna say
That's
how
right.
how Nickelodeon slime is it?
man,
I am
it's
the
very
closest
slime.
biologist, but I'm not fetching him.
Speaking of green, bringing it back a little bit, I am not a big fan of green tones in my brown
Holy shit!
jackets.
Sorry, I'm looking at the
Yeah.
sinkhole now.
Really?
You
That's
got
a-
Wait.
green in my brown. You got
That's-
brown in
Jason-
my green.
Jason's interjection made it sound like Ethan just said, "I don't like green in my shit." Which, to be frank, I don't like green in my shit either. Like,
That's not
that's
good to
that's the
see.
color I don't look for. But it's happened to the best of us. No,
Well, you should be looking for it, but you should hope not to see it.
you check every time.
You always
Ethan,
gotta
did you
check.
get it?
Gotta go in there.
You
and make
always
sure the
check.
picture's
Don't
right.
flush. and the price is right. Ethan, did you see the Spear and McKay? I shared it to the group chat a while ago, but they came out with a new, and again, whatever it is, the Prince of Whale check, Brown Glen check. The pattern I like. I don't know. I'm not on all that, man. But it's like it's one of the newer one, and it has like a green to it. It's very subtle, and like because I always picture like a red, but like the green almost it opens the door to cooler quote unquote fits. It's not like I'm green, but it's just like it was a bit lighter.
I'm green.
Green. I most certainly like that more than a blue check. I do not want a brown and blue check.
Really?
No, seriously, like a light blue overcheck, overplaid. It's a big turn off.
Yeah,
like
generally
red,
I'm not super into it. I'm
Wait,
also
what about like Prince?
That's like
well,
Oliver Wicks.
All I'm thinking of is
flannel.
gray Prince of Wales. You know, with the plaid. So basically, Prince of Wales is a plaid with an over window pane on top of it, right? And,
Oh well, if it's not brown, then yeah.
Specifically, it's blue. Usually, like the official like Prince of Wales.
yeah, the official Prince
Yeah,
of
I
Wales.
have my brown check is a Prince of Wales with the blue is a blue over check, but then I have that gray Prince of Wales suit, which is a red over.
Yeah, those are the two, right? Those are the two that for classic Prince of
genders.
Wales.
Yeah.
It's like that. Okay, we're in a break for a little bit.
It do be like that.
Let's see if I can find that
It'd be
jacket.
like that. How about that?
Is it this pre-order one, Matt?
It's me, by the way.
I think it's a
I love
pre-order.
all the Ninja Turtles.
Like, okay, I'm looking right now. Sport
What is it, Abraham
Liquidation.
Moon?
Holy
What
shit,
is it?
guys! Are we buying sport coats now on stream?
Yep.
Do it.
Well, you can without doxing yourself.
Hold on.
I don't know if I
can't
do.
get it. What the hell happened?
Yeah, where are we? What are you looking at right now? Where are we buying things from?
Uh-oh.
Is it a Spear pre-order?
It looks like it.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like a medium brown in the Glen check council.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now. Oh yeah, is it the brown? Yeah, the Fox Brothers one.
I think
I'll
so.
put this
Oh
in
yeah,
chat.
yeah, the pre-order. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, the Abraham Moon one is nice too.
I'm looking at it. Oh yeah, the Abraham Moon one. I think the Abraham Moon one is more my speed because when I look at the Fox Brothers one I put in, it's still very.
Honestly, I love all
It's very
five of them
classic.
I'm
It's
seeing
very,
right
you know,
now.
it's still very understated. Okay, here's something I don't like. This blue and brown check. Not a big fan of this one. This is an example of something I think is a little too mensweary.
No, I'm liking the Fox.
I'm
yeah, I'm not a
weary
huge-
about it.
I'm not a huge
Like
into
if
this
you're
one.
looking at the first two rows, the last two, and then the first three are nice.
Yeah.
Our
That
friend Young
undyed
Chonsky,
one.
did he
So,
get one
to
of
bring it
these,
back to
the red
green,
one?
As someone who has like kind of like a yellow skin tone, right? Little yellow undertones
That's
as an Asian
racist.
guy.
Yeah, come on,
it's
Ethan.
also very very important for me, like in terms of lighting, in terms of white balance, right? So I don't like casting too much of a green light on me. It just makes me look weird, especially with like tint and everything with editing photos. So a green tinted brown jacket feels a little off to me. You know, I prefer darker brown, because I think it works better with my. I mean, I don't think too much about skin tone. This is just something. I mean, this is the first time I'm ever like really verbalizing it. But you know, just kind of realizing, I don't really like green tinted stuff, green checks that much. You know, and to bring it also like I'm not a big fan of like super English check stuff. I think that a brown plaid is fine. Prince of Wales is fine. But when you start getting like gun check or like houndstooth with a plaid on top with like it's like green, brown, and red like all together, I'm like that's a little too dandy to me. You know, it feels very like Mordecai, very hashtag menswear. It's like that with like a brown tweed vest and jeans.
When
and
it gets
boots, like,
really
like,
intense, I know what you mean, but I think if it's a houndstooth in a Glen check with an overplaid, that's fine. I don't think that's too excessive, but it just depends. All the scale thing, like you mentioned, yeah.
Right. I mean, those are just what I'm not really into, and I think we were talking about watches yesterday. Again, a great episode's going to come out in 2 weeks or a week and a half.
Mark your calendars.
But it's like one of those things where, for a while, I felt like my wardrobe was missing that brown check. Like I really wanted, especially when I could wear year round, because even in vintage, I didn't really have one, right? I don't think I had one, Spencer. Like I had like the houndstooth.
Yeah, but you didn't have like a classic brown check.
Yeah, brown plaid, brown Prince of Wales, and I was always on the search for it. Again, there's plenty of inspiration images in the essay that I wrote that has vintage illustrations, vintage pictures,
vintage
photographs
values,
of Stewart and everything. Not those.
A simpler
But-
time.
All vintage value, all the time.
They didn't
Oh,
have
We don't
one
like the
of
brown Glen check
those.
because it gives the vintage values.
Nope. But yeah, so like once I had that, like I think this whole summer has been very great in terms of menswear. You know, despite not being able to do too much, and of course not having the demise of the bloke and no more trunk shows and everything. But I've been able to kind of get I not only did I get the brown plaid from Fox with the Fox Brothers fabric from Spear and McKay last winter. I also got, again, like I said, the Spear and McKay linen brown check, which is great. I got the houndstooth or the shepherd's check from Ring Jacket, which is fantastic. I do wish I got the balloon. It's got like a very dark blue. It's very dark brown.
Dark.
Check from Ring Jacket, but during the last trunk show, they only had it in size 54. I'm a size 50. And if I mean, I could ask Appeal if he has one, but like I don't really need it right now, obviously. But it's one of those things where after getting that, I feel finally open and ready to try some other stuff, which is why I just got like a purple corduroy suit. I just commissioned it.
Hey.
Very excited for
Call
that.
him
one.
That was fun.
commissioner.
Me and this guy just swapped thermite. We threw thermite at each other at the
Oh,
same
that's
time.
cute.
It's a
And both
thermite
died.
kiss.
The
Yeah.
penny was a
Yeah.
solo
Secret
from
Santa.
Titanic.
We just
play.
did a thermite
Secret
kiss where we
Santa.
both direct hit each other with different
So you ended up
thermites.
going with the purple cord and not the burgundy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I
Ethan?
think they did purple.
he did.
Oh,
he did
you-
purple.
Purple.
Oh,
Wait, what? It was a corduroy or was it a twill? What was it?
It's quartered.
We love quartered.
Corduroy.
The suit you just got, it's corduroy,
Oh, yeah,
right? You didn't,
corduroy,
you
yeah,
didn't go with the
purple
full
corduroy.
one.
I did not go with twill.
Good stuff.
And so Scoop says here he has a Abercrombie dad coat Balmcan. Yep. That they made in the same brown green. Yeah, that's true. They did. They had it's one of the most popular ones. I've seen it.
That's
What's it called? The TF guys have one.
teaching fashion.
Teaching fashion.
It's a good looking coat.
Thank
Oh,
you.
there's a guy behind C.
But yeah, I know like
Sniping
a lot
out
of
the
people who got
homies.
that, and
Thank you.
it's a real good. Balmacans are my fetish, but there's almost no reason to get one in LA. That's right.
Amen.
I would
They
love a
look.
crazy
I mean,
intense check
there
one.
was there was a one at J Crew in like an unstructured like plaid Balmacan that was not the Abraham Mooncloth one. I think Ethan might have tried it out when he did the event
did.
at our store,
Yeah.
but that one was nice. But again, too short. But it was a good looking coat.
Wait, like a winter weight or what was it?
It was pretty lightweight. So I
Yeah,
think
Lightweight,
I
it's
could,
like maybe like midweight,
yeah, I could have conceivably worn it around
Like a year
here,
round.
but-
Okay.
not year round here, certainly not. But
No. That doesn't even mean anything.
that
in a way.
winter weight for us maybe.
Yeah, sure.
That's like the coldest. That's like the heaviest you would be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Would you guys commission like if you could build your perfect brown check, like what would it look like?
Camel hair
Ooh.
and like a tan camel base and then like a brown plaid over it.
Interesting. So you're gonna go for like a lighter brown check, or a base lighter
Yes.
base because of camel.
Because yeah.
Interesting.
I haven't looked at the photo in a while, but I just get whatever Spencer's jacket was from the Drake's show.
I was,
where-
I think, yeah, the Brooks Brothers one. I was gonna say I might just do that, except maybe like a slightly different. I mean,
Are you talking about
sleeves are a little
the
bit-
oversized plaid? The one
Yeah,
that-
think
that
so.
one. The Brooks
No, this
Brothers.
more like a
one.
lighter brown, kind of a gray brown, right, or something.
Let
Because
me-
that's darker than mine.
Because I had it right next to me, in fact.
Because mine's sort of a medium brown, but yours is that slightly darker, but it's just very.
This is a good, like, I don't know, if you're going for the professorial look, kind of academic
Mhm.
look, this is
Yeah.
a good one. Obviously, it's Brooks Brothers, and it has that red overcheck.
Yes.
But yeah, this is a little bit of a lighter jacket that's a little bit more tan, and it has the red. Yeah, it has like a red overcheck on it, but it's
Yeah,
nice.
good stuff. So yeah, either in Sacadites or Neodites, that would be pretty good.
Yeah,
Unlined.
I think that
Yeah.
my ultimate one, so far, I mean, it's the flannel from Fox Brothers from with Spear and McKay. I think that's pretty much the perfect one. I would love it if it was made from like ring jacket balloon, so it's like really open. Because ring jacket
Yeah.
balloon has enough texture and is lightweight
So you
enough
can
for me to
fly
enjoy
away.
it. That's
I
right.
got the laundry tag still on.
And
here.
now you guys are making me want to fucking call up Kapil and be like, hey, let me know
Let's
if you
call him
got
on
that brown
air.
jacket.
Go ahead.
Let me see if I could actually
Go ahead.
find it. You know.
You know what's funny is like I was.
He's Ring Jacket USA, right?
That's right.
I don't know if I've
I
said this
might
on
DM
stream
you.
or if I've said this at any time, but I've always thought like if I had to get. I think I might have said this on stream. If I had to stick with like one cut of like sport coat or whatever, it would just be like soft shoulder, triple patch pocket, like the Brycelands. They made like one in white and gray, some sort of like that. I don't think I would
Straight
want
up
triple
triple
patch or triple pleated patch specifically.
That's
triple
got
pleated
it.
patch
I was
pocket.
asking about that. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I don't think I would want pleated patch pockets on a brown check jacket though.
Right, but the right
They're all too
triple
busy, I
patch,
think, right?
Yeah,
it can't be too high, right, in the breast.
exactly.
That is actually why for what's it called, for my new suits I did not get a breast pocket from Atelier Fugue. I thought I was just gonna do a regular welted breast, barchetta if you can do it, because
Yeah.
don't wanna deal with the breast pocket height. Like that's something
It's a
I'm
we
lot.
very
did
picky
we
about.
did fix that.
Oh
Wait,
yeah, you did, yeah. But I mean, I also think that breast pockets can be kind of small, especially when compared to like 40s style ones where they're pretty like the breast pocket is pretty wide. And
I
there's
can't
more
fit my guns in this.
there's more pouch to vintage like 40s ones as opposed to
Ooh, I
Once
stacked
again, this is
those.
shit that like only we care about. Like
Yeah.
this is what
Yeah,
happened.
welcome to sad.
This is what happened. No, I mean but this is what happens when you like start out by buying like vintage stuff. Then you're like, oh, 30s pockets were like this. So that's the kind of
Yeah, and
So I'm
that's why
pasting
people
this
come to
picture.
the shops and buy shit.
I'm pasting this picture into the chat that you can see. It's a very funny picture, but you can kind of tell that it's a very faint plaid. This actually might be the Grail, maybe. It's balloon. It's
Balloon.
dark. God, I really want to see. I mean, should I ask him, man? Like,
Call him on air. Do it.
oh baby, no! It's
what?
so good.
Everyone else
Thank
peer
you.
pressure Ethan to spend money.
No.
No.
Peer pressure.
Do it. Your
peer
wallet will
pressure
feel so
MJ
much
to
lighter.
in the hardcore, not core. It'd be better.
You only deal with the hardcore. I'll cover core.
Oh, whoops! I thought I was the leader. I was gonna
Oh.
do it.
Well,
That's
thank you guys
German
for
song.
that fun discussion on brown check jackets. We
As
can just
quickly as it
kinda
came.
keep it open for the rest of the thing here. But again, if you guys want to see the full discussion and read it, you can find it on Street Expressa. It's the link in the bio for Sound Direction.
We'll write a
Instagram.
novel.
And listen to that podcast available on all platforms. But yeah, it's a fun discussion here. And I'm glad a lot of people sent me some pictures of them wearing brown check jackets. So
I have to activate one more field upgrade.